you can close that door because that smell is giving me a headache. I don't know what it is. Okay. We're live. All right. So I don't know what's going on with my camera. I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna get it together. I'm gonna end up figuring it out, okay? Let me go ahead and click this other button. It's all gonna work out, you guys. I don't know. This is like the third live that has no video. Hello, 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 my loves. It is Brand Boost Tuesday. I don't know why I feel like it's not Tuesday. I feel like we're deeper into the week, but here we are on Tuesday. And I want to talk today about, sorry, I love my oils and they're so relaxing, and I just needed them today, for real, for real. I've been really cranky. Okay, anyways, Brand Boost Tuesday. Today we are talking about 5 things that need to be on your weekly to-do list. We sometimes struggle with having like the to-do list, right? We put stuff on our to-do list that is really for the whole month, and then we get stressed out that we don't finish it in a day or in a week. Then it's about routine and schedules, and sometimes that there's no routine or schedule, or there is one, but it's not serving us in the best way possible, and so it's not actually benefiting us. We're just getting stuff done just to say we got stuff done. And so I want to encourage you to take a deeper look at your to-do list, at your routine, at your schedule, and let's see what we can actually do, right? I realized that before I sat down and I'm in, like I said before, I didn't put oil in my arms. I'm in this foundation setting period, right? So before I was like, I'm posting every day, I'm engaging, my numbers are going up, and all of that is important, yes, but I needed conversions, right? I needed conversions and I was not getting them. And so I needed to do something different. I was just checking a box. I was just checking, oh, I'm making content. The content got this much likes. I shared it. It got more views, all the things, but I have over 30K people viewing my profile and not either following or purchasing, not even viewing my website, right? So I knew that I needed to make a change, make a difference. And so I was able to sit down and take some time. I took from December to now, I plan to be done with everything, setting the foundation by March. Sorry, we're in March. By April. So that is the plan, and I know I'm going to beat that deadline because I just finished Discord. Well, no, I got one more thing to ask Discord, and then I'm done with Discord, and I have a few, just like 2 or 3 more things to update on Patreon, and then I'm done with that. But excuse me, my goodness, I needed to reframe my thinking. Like, I had the thoughts there, but I never dug them out and laid them out in front of me and put a schedule to everything. I was doing everything and everything was getting done, but it wasn't making an impact. And so I want to encourage you to think about, what are the things you're doing and are they making an impact? Are they actually helping you reach your goals? Are they? I know mine's weren't. That doesn't mean that yours weren't or aren't, but mine's weren't. Like I said, I was posting consistently. I post consistently enough, like I said, to have the views. I have the views. People are viewing my account, but the views don't mean anything if I'm not getting them to either follow me so that we can support and elevate together, or visit my website so that I can get more, a better idea of what they're viewing and what's interesting customers and things like that, or making a purchase, right? It doesn't mean much. And that's if you're using social media for business, which is what this live is all about. It's about brand boosting. So that even goes for if you are creative. because it's all about converting. It's about conversions. It's about engagement. It's about all of that, but they all have to work together. Okay. So I mentioned Discord. I'm building a Discord for everything that I do. So it won't just be for these lives. It won't just be for my oils or for my podcast. It'll be a space. There's a space in there for everyone to connect and communicate and uplift and elevate one another. There's even a space for you to promote your events and your services. If you're a model, you have a service. You're a photographer, you have a service, you have a business, you guys are business owners. Just letting you know. I really want models to start rethinking, models, influencers, all of you guys, you creatives, you're a business. Anyways, so the Discord should be up by the end of the week. The collective, that's the Patreon account, that is the customer service. My goodness, where is my mind? Woo, I need some water. The Carter Love Collective, the logo looks like, I'm so obsessed with these logos, y'all, so I'm going to show y'all real quick. The Carter Love Collective. Oh, I didn't know this had audio. Okay, let's turn that off. And nope, cancel. Stop sharing. So anyways, the Carter Love Collective, that is a space for all of us to elevate and grow. There will be resources in there. I'm already building the resources. I'm also going to build a directory. So say you are a business and you are looking for a photographer who does commercial branding, or say you're a business and you're about to do an event and you need a photographer for events, right? Or you need a model, you're a photographer and you need a model for this thing, right? Whatever the case may be, I know a lot of small businesses. I'm going to put them all in there, and as I meet more, I'm going to keep adding to it. So that's all going to be in there. There's also going to be learning tools like podcasts that are useful, books that are useful, and then we're going to be sharing knowledge with one another. It's going to be we're going to be giving a lot, and we're going to have a lot to take away because of it. It is not a drop your link, share your post, and move on kind of situation. And so I'm very excited about that. And that should be set up by the end of the week. I'm giving myself grace, and that's why I told you guys by the end of April. But because of the progress that I've made, I'm pretty sure it will be done by the end of the week. So anyways, with that being said, all of this stuff, I'm adding more to my plate, but not necessarily. I am, but I'm not. So I was like, okay, it's time to rethink my routine, rethink my schedule, rethink my to-do list, and get some things in order so that I can make sure that I show up for all these things that I'm setting up. Because the reality is, this is what needs to be done. This is my next level. This is what, after I'm setting the foundation, the next level is getting people into these communities, right? And so that's my next level. So I need to do what I got to do to get that happening. But I can't do that successfully if I don't have a routine or a schedule to make sure that I can connect in those different platforms. And so I started my routine. And so I was like, you know what? Tonight's live is going to be about the 5 things that need to be done weekly. These 5 things need to be on your to-do list in some way, shape, or form. Okay. So first is emails and DMs. I don't like emails because when I check my email, it ends up adding more to my to-do list. It drives me crazy, especially because some of that stuff means I have to drop what was at the top of my to-do list and put that stuff at the top of my to-do list. But the reality is there's opportunities in your emails. There is. There was a magazine that wanted to do an interview. I ended up interviewing with them. I need to post that. I've been busy working on this other stuff, but I will post it. There was a magazine. There was a couple of things, you guys, that I would have missed. Okay. I was working with a business advisor to make sure like my license and all that stuff are in line, and to keep me updated with grants and things of that nature. And And I've been so busy with life and like I said, rebuilding my foundation, that I hadn't been connecting with her, but she had reached out to me. Usually she does not. She will let you go because she's about her business. No, she reached out to me and she connected with me. The candle people, the people who wanted me to sell their candles, they reached out to me in email. I would not have, especially because I have more than one email. I have two that I have to check, and then I have my school one that's three. You know what I mean? So, but emails need to get checked, you guys. And also we need to get in the habit of sending emails. So that's another thing on the list, but we're not gonna get to that yet. DMs is the other thing. DMs. So I know I'm not the only one who's been experiencing this. It's been a struggle. It's been a struggle with Instagram with these DMs. Um, Listen, my DMs are turned off on everything else. TikTok, I don't really check DMs unless they're from my sisters, um, and a few close friends. That's it. My notifications are off on the Facebook one. The only DMs I answer are on Instagram, especially because I have 5 of them, and so they're about, okay, Nat. My little office is in a storage room, so don't judge me. Anyways, so yeah. So I do check my Instagram ones, but they get weird. Like sometimes you hit refresh and like the new message is like further down, but also it's weird because if someone tags you in a comment, then that's a message. If someone tags you in a post like on their story, then that's a message. Like there's all these random reasons to have messages. Don't let you have a birthday or some sort of celebration, then everyone's commenting tagging you, congratulations, and all the things. So it's easy to get behind on Instagram and you can miss out on opportunities. I hate it, but I've missed out on a couple of photo shoot opportunities, and they were collabs and they were going to be good. Because the message like 5 weeks ago, not 5 weeks ago, I think it was November. That message is gone. Them people ain't worried about me no more. They found like 5 other models to work with them. They did shoots, 10 shoots by now. Okay, honey. So, having a set day to check your DMs. I just made mine Wednesday. Wednesdays are my wellness Wednesdays. I'm already on social media trying to make sure I check on others on my wellness Wednesday. Do my wellness Wednesday live usually in the morning, and then I make effort to check on people. So I decided. Also, I'll post my podcast on Wednesday, and my podcast is all about self-love and community and all the things. And so I made Wednesday my check-in thing. I've been chipping away. I have had to on some days, like recently, I'll dedicate more time when I'm not working on these platforms, but I dedicated 30 minutes. So that's another thing you can do is like you have to give yourself a cutout time. Like for example, with emails, sometimes people like they need to delete emails, right? You can be deleting emails all damn day. Give yourself 30 minutes to an hour. You know what I mean? Depending upon what your workday looks like for you, right? I am setting mine to 4 hours. Eventually, I do want it a little bit more, 7. But I am homeschooling when they in summer though. Whoo. And when they in daycare, baby, them hours is going up because I got shit to do. But as of right now, I'm giving myself 4 hours because I don't want to overdo it, and I don't want to stay up late to get stuff done because I don't want to be exhausted. I'm no good to you or them or me if I'm exhausted. So anyways, whatever your work hours look like for your business, it's important to have work hours for your business. You have work hours for that 9 to 5 that you used to work or that you currently work. You need to have some work hours for your business. Even if you're a model, yes, because there's things you can be doing. We'll talk about that later. Anyways, so set aside some time and see how much, based off of what you need to do that day, how much time you can dedicate to replying to DMs and checking emails. I'm only going to do 30 minutes. I'm only going to do 30 minutes because the reality is I'm not going to just ignore messages throughout the week. I'm just going to spend more time on messages on Wednesdays. And I might do 2 sets of 30 minutes. I might not just do 30 minutes and then be done for the day. I might do 2 sets of that. But the reality is there's other things I need to do, right? So think about what works for you. You know what works for you. Think about what works for you and set that time up for yourself. Now, content day. You need a content day. You do. It doesn't matter what your business is, because whether you're making reels or you're doing recaps or you're making captions or you're constructing emails to send out, right? Or you're making ads, no matter what business you're in, you're going to be doing something. You know what I mean? Even if you're posting twice a week, you're still going to need a content day. A content day needs to be done. Visuals are very important. And so it's important to set some time aside to do that. Again, you can set aside an hour, 30 minutes to an hour, whatever you see fit. I get lost in creating. So I did set aside a good chunk of time for that on my Tuesdays and Fridays. Excuse me. But that's why I split it up, because I know I can get carried away. I will literally sit and watch Naruto while I edit content. And I will say I'm doing something because I am, but at the same time, it's aimless. So when you are creating content, you want to make sure that there's some structure. So what I've done, for me personally, because I have not so many different types of, I have so many, so fuck it. I set aside, each day something different. Like maybe this day I'm doing podcast highlights. So I'm only doing podcast highlights. I'm doing affirmations. I'm doing those kind of things. The next one I might be doing the next day, walk videos. I'm doing nothing but my behind the scenes walk videos, whatever the case may be. Another day I'm doing my oils. Maybe I'm doing oils on Wednesday because Friday is going to be a glow live, right? So another day I'm doing that. Another day I might be doing tips on brand boosting, right? So then that way it's spread out, right? So whatever content you create, I have this thing, I have it written out. It's called my signature content, right? And so I have my signature content, and then I take that and I divide it into days. And so then I'm now aware of what days to create content for. So then that way I'm not just editing all this content, because then I could be sitting there editing a bunch of behind the scenes and not even be able to use it that week. You see what I'm saying? So organize your content. It sounds like a lot, and it is. It's not going to be easy. This stuff seems so easy because we're like, it's just online and people go viral all the time, and no, they go viral, but does it last? I was reading this book, one of Kevin Hart's book. I don't know. I've read them all. I was reading one of his books, and he says it's easy to get to the top, but it's hard to stay there. You go viral, okay, yeah, but do they know your name? Do they know about your product? Are they going to keep hiring you? You know what I mean? It's about sustaining what you're building, and growing that. You know what I mean? Building on that. And so that's what we want to do. We don't want to just be posting anything. And I'm telling you, I was checking the box. I'm posting regularly. I'm getting views. Okay. Where's the conversions? Where are the conversions? So something to think about. Make sure you have a content day. Make sure you're able to divide it into some way, shape, or form. Maybe this day you post photo shoots. Maybe this day you post behind the scenes. I would encourage you to post behind the scenes before you post the photo shoots, to get people really interested in what's going on in your life. Anyways, so just set it up in a way that makes sense, and study. I love studying. I love studying the way these movie stars do it. You always know when something big is happening when you see the same star on different people's talk shows. Okay? Keke Palmer was doing a lot recently because her book launched around my birthday, so in November. So before, she was doing a lot of content because you can pre-order her book on Audible. She was doing a lot of content around that. Then when it got closer, she started doing interviews. After it launched, she started doing more interviews. That's how you get known. That's how you sell your product. You know what I mean? So study someone that you admire and see how they advertise things, and then see how that can be applied to what you do. You know what I mean? Because even stars have to, you know, promote themselves. What's his name? Kevin Hart and The Rock, when they did, what movie did they do together? I think it was dang, it was that childhood movie that they remade. Can't remember what it's called right now. The one with the jungle and all the things. Anyways, what they did was, one, they went on a bunch of talk shows, right? Then they went into movie theaters and they did that. Then they also gave away, like, I think they gave away like Xboxes and shit like that. Like, they did a bunch of stuff to raise noise around their name and around their movie, around their project. The reality is, you have to advertise, you have to represent you. Who else is going to do it? You know what I'm saying? So figure out the best way that works for you when it comes to content. It's not as hard as it seems, especially because in the beginning it seems like a lot of work, and then you get in the groove of it. In the beginning, like, people see all the stuff that I'm doing, they're like, how do you do it all? It's just, once you get in a groove, it seems like nothing. I have over 5 platforms that I post on. I have 5 Instagrams, and I post on my TikTok, my Instagram, my Snapchat, my Facebook, my LinkedIn, and my Pinterest. And sometimes Google, depending upon if it makes sense. I post on all of those. And like I said, sometimes if it makes sense, I'm doing that daily. Well, I paused because I'm doing all this foundation building, so the website and the Patreon and the Discord. But that's what I do. If you see a video on Instagram, most likely you're going to find it on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. I forgot about YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, and Pinterest. You're going to find it on all of those platforms. I don't have software that does that, because the reality is sometimes there's people I have to tag, and the software is not going to tag all those people to make sure that they get their credit. It's not. So I do it all individually. It used to take me almost an hour. Now it takes me 15 and 20 minutes, if that. It's not that hard. It's hard in the beginning, and then you get used to it, and then you get to build on it. So believe in yourself, okay? So the third thing that needs to be on your weekly to-do list is your calendar updates. Your calendar, period. Look at your calendar, see if things are canceled or still going. What are you doing? What does your next week look like? What does the rest of the month look like for you? Because you know, when you check them emails, that's going to change. When you check them DMs, that's going to change. So you want to make sure you're updating that. You want to make sure you're on top of that. You want to make sure you are perceived as someone who is on time and on top of that shit. Okay? That's how you get invited back. If you are serious and respect other people's time, they will be serious and respect your time. Not always, but most of the time. Anyways, even if they ain't, at least you know that you're on top of your stuff and you're building good habits for when you're working with bigger people. Okay? So that is important, especially because the next thing is going to be budgeting for upcoming events. I put events, but it's just upcoming things. You know, you may have a meeting, say you live in SAC, you have a meeting in San Francisco with a client. You have to make sure you budget for that, right? Maybe you have a meeting one day in San Francisco with one client, and then you have a meeting in San Jose with another client. Or maybe say you're a model, right? Maybe you have a photo shoot this day in San Francisco, another time you have it in Stockton. And then you have, like, you know what I mean? You're bouncing all over the place. Where's your money going? Let's budget that. What did you pay for when it came to preparing for this shoot and all the things, right? This is all stuff that needs to be organized. Tax season just passed, and I learned a lot about doing taxes for a small business. I was more aware this time. I made myself more aware, and I took better notes this time because I know, like I said, I'm building a foundation. Before, I just checked a box. I did my taxes, whatever. This time, I wrote out what they look for, so I know what to write off and what to document throughout the year, right? So this is something I want you to think about now. So on your weekly to-do, what's your budget look like? Where's your money going? And can you even afford to make some of these these photo shoots or these meetings or whatever's on your calendar. You know what I mean? It's important to think about those things and stay on top of those things. Sometimes we just be going, going, going. I know I was last year. I was going, going, going. And I didn't slow down to think. I did budget, of course, but I didn't slow down to think about where my money was going and how I could be spending it more efficiently, more to get better return. I didn't get anything big. I'm gonna tell you that I lost that. But I gained a lot of knowledge, and like I said, now I'm applying that knowledge into the foundation that I'm building. So, anyways, the last thing is networking. Put networking somewhere on your to-do list, even if it's sprinkled in every day of the week. Networking is very important. It's important to build relationships. You never know how you can help someone, and you never know how a person can help you. You don't know who they know, and you don't know their audience. But someone in their audience could be the one for you. And I don't mean that romantically. I know y'all know, but I just had to make sure that y'all knew. But it's just, I'm really a big human kindness person. It's not even about reaping what you sow, but you do reap what you sow. It's really about the fact that you have so much skill and so much potential, and there's so many people you could be benefiting. Network, connect, see how you can benefit them and how they can benefit you and how you guys can elevate together, because it's all about elevating together. It's all about elevating together. We can still live our individual lives and elevate together. Couples do it all the time. Healthy couples do it all the time. So network and find your best way. For me, I do a lot of networking online. I do a lot of networking online, and it works for me. It does. And I think it makes people, it makes it seem like I'm more inviting in real life. I am inviting, you guys. I am. But I do, when I am dressed up, I am out there in the real world, because you see me right now. I'm froed out. I'm in my little dungeon. But I I have resting bitch face, and I can come off as intimidating, so I'm not always approachable unless people see me with other people laughing and joking around, and they're able to see that light. And so meeting me online for some people works better. Or watching stuff like this, because they're able to see me, joke around and laugh around, and I do a lot of different like funny voices and shit like that. And so it helps. But either way it goes, I can network both ways. But figure out what works best for you when it comes to networking. I'm not a person who likes to be in people's DMs. I do like to go on a person's page. I like to like and comment. If it's something that I'm willing to share on one of my 5 Instagrams, I will share it. Same thing with Facebook. I will share it, and I like to compliment on their stuff, like comment on their stuff, watch their stories. I check notes to see if there's anything I can contribute. It's not always about take, and I feel like sometimes that's what we think, because we want to get ahead. We think that we always need to be receiving something out of it. I just see how I can show up for them, and if they show up for me, great. If they don't, that's fine. Someone else will. You know what I mean? And so just find a networking way that works best for you. To me, I like the slow relationship building. Sometimes we are hungry for clients and we're hungry for money, and so sometimes we rush, and it works for some people. Some people, the copy paste works. It does. I've been taught that before in business offices. I was actually taught that when it came to resume making. You know what I mean? Sometimes that works. That works for people. It's like, what is it called? Cold calling, cold emailing, whatever the case may be. It does work for some people. But if it doesn't sit right with you, that's okay. Find what works for you. But networking is necessary. Is entirely necessary. Because if you're not connecting with the people who are following you or the people you're interested in working with, then they're not going to know who you are. There's just entirely too many people in the world for them to know who you are. Or they may know who you are, but they don't know what you're about or how serious you are about your business. You know what I mean? So find a networking way that works best for you. Play around with some things. I tried it. I did try the copy and paste. I've tried it for my business. I've tried it for other people's businesses. It's not for me. It's not. I do like calls. I have called people and said, hey, I have this event. I would love for you to be a vendor. How do you feel about it? I have done that. I'm okay with that too, because conversation is different than me in your DMs sending something. You know what I mean? I personally, I don't even use I don't know if you guys, if you're on Facebook, there's an @ you can put @ follow and @ highlight, right? Hey. So you can put @ follow, @ highlight. I don't even use that function. You know why? Because I feel like, I don't know if I make this shit over personal, but I feel like you're sending that to everyone and their mama. You're not thinking about, oh, this product or this post is going to help Deshay. And I know it's crazy, because the reality is, say you got 10K followers, you cannot sit and try to help all of them individually in that way, but damn it, I'm gonna try. Because it's just more sincere to me, and I know it's just gonna make my life a little bit more challenging. So like I said, do what works for you and network in a way that benefits, that sits right with your conscience. For me, I don't like copy and paste. I don't like sending group messages either. Like, when you have one thing and you just send it, you just click a bunch of people to send it to. I always feel, even with group chats, I feel weird. I do it with group chats though. When it comes to these lives, I will send this to a couple of group chats. But I always feel weird. I feel like it's not sincere. Like, I'm not talking directly to that individual. That's why I only do it for group chats, because you're not in those group chats, you're just posting shit. Not like that. You are promoting your brand, but you are just kind of, you're not talking directly to anyone. It's just whoever will see it. And that's what I don't like. Because if you're tagging me in something that you're tagging a bunch of other people, it's like, whoever will see this aimlessly, whoever needs this aimlessly. To me, it feels aimless. But to that individual, it might not be. Like I said, whatever works for you, because for some people that works. For some, it's used often because it works. I personally like to build relationships. I like to build relationships. I like to connect with a person, see what they're about, see what their brand is about, see how, if our brands are in alignment, or if it's just, that's just someone's post I'm just going to be sharing, or if we're going to be partnering together in the future, or whatever the case may be. I like to do that, and it takes longer, but it works. I had a friend, and he told me that what he does is he picks 5 to connect with regularly for maybe a month, and then after that month it just becomes natural, and then he adds on 5 more. And that's how you build relationships. That's how people get to know you and get to know what you're all about and want to support you and be on fire for you. But also, it's going to depend on your business, your time, and if you have a team and all the things. And that's why it's easier for a lot of people to do copy and paste. But email marketing is good too. Email is a good way to networking and getting those emails, moving things off. From what I've studied, it's better to get people off of social media and onto email, or onto your website, or off of social media though. And now that Instagram inboxes are getting so crazy, I'm like, yeah, let's get back on this email thing. I don't like emails myself, but I have been making a better effort to utilize email marketing, or just email updates, because the inboxes are getting crazy. And I'm not the only one. Like, there's people not all over my, but like I'm seeing it in people's stories. They're like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get caught up on these messages, I promise. Oh, not the alarm cutting me off. But anyways, that's that. So I'm gonna go over the list real quick. Okay, 5 things that need to be on your weekly to-do list: checking your emails and your DMs, content day, a content day, calendar updates, updating your calendar, budgeting, checking your budgeting to make sure that you can get the stuff done for the rest of that week or for the rest of that month. And lastly, networking. Networking needs to be on your weekly to-do list. So this is your weekly to-do list. Remember to give yourself grace and flexibility. Give yourself grace and flexibility. Like I said, we write these to-do lists that are for the month, sometimes for 2 months, and then we're expecting ourselves to get it done in a day or a week. What I like to do, because I still write those lists, what I like to do is I like to take 5 things off of there. It used to be 3 because I read this book and it was telling you to do 3 a day. Honey, I'm sorry, I got shit to do. So I do 5 now, okay? I take 5 things off the to-do list, the 5 things that I feel like should be at the top. Now, because you are checking your emails at some point, maybe do 3 because there's going to be some to-do list items in your email, right? And then add the rest of your to-do list items from the email to that long ass list. The list is going to be endless, but it's necessary. That's what life's all about. Anyways, so that's my little method of things, okay? So anyways, I hope this was helpful. I hope that it was. I will see you guys again on the next Brand Boost Tuesday. I'm like I said, I'll let you guys know when the Discord and the collective are ready. You can go take a peek at it now. The stuff is up there. It's just not it's not fully functioning yet. I'm still updating. So the Discord is called My Honeys. I'll explain the name later. And the collective is called the Carter Love Collective. Okay. So that is that. And I'm going to go ahead and close out. And I will talk to you guys on Friday. I'm doing a live on Friday. The Friday is going to be about the scrubs and the oils. And yeah. So remember that you are worthy always. You are worthy of success. You are worthy of grace. Okay, what's going on? I'll have to read that later on. You are worthy of success. You are worthy of grace. You are worthy of a consistent schedule. One that, of course, you need flexibility, but one that's going to lead you to success where you're not just aimlessly getting shit done that's probably not building you anything, right? You are worthy of more than checking things off of a list, right? You're worthy of doing things that are going to help you to live up to your potential and reach that level of success that you are worthy of. What? You are worthy of success. All right, so let's keep going. Let's keep elevating. Let's keep boosting. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye. All right, this message popped up. It says an error with the output. Please check your streaming and recording settings. Okay. All right, you guys. Now I'm going to end. It was an error message that popped up, but I will end with you now. Thank you, YouTube.